Can you imagine getting married without asking this question? Sita was a 35-year-old gentleman, owned an oil company, and did part-time work as a television host. He was doing very well financially, and women were always interested in him, but he was only interested in one particular woman, Juliette. A modest 9-to-5 worker. Shy, quiet, working as a teller at a bank, prim, proper, well-educated. The two met at a private event hosted for financial institutions, at which Sita was the special guest. The two locked eyes on each other, and immediately they fell in love, and that was the beginning of a blissful relationship. For 2 years, everything was going swimmingly. They both felt they had found their soulmate. They quickly became social media goals. Everybody wanted to be like them. Everybody wanted a partner like them. Sita and Juliette were the it couple, and just like that, during an away trip for the both of them, Sita got down on one knee and proposed to Juliette. In her excitement, she said yes because she was finally going to marry the perfect man for her. Wedding planning was an absolute bliss, and Juliette felt she had found her person. On random Saturday, as Juliette is scrolling through TikTok, she sees a video of an influencer stating 5 things to do and ask your partner before getting married. Juliette laughed, but realized that there is one question she's never asked him. So she calls Sita and says, "Oh babe, guess what? I was on social media. Let me ask you this question real quick. Do you want kids?" And she starts laughing, thinking that of course Sita agreed with her. Sita surprised her and said no. Juliette's demeanor got very somber. She said, "Wait, what? Why no? You've been great with kids. You love kids. Why don't you want us to have kids?" Sita's like, "Oh yes, I love kids. I think they're great, but I don't want us to have kids for 2 main reasons. Reason number 1, women tend to lose themselves after having kids. They no longer dress up. They're always tired, and then they often gain weight, and I don't really want you gaining weight." Reason number 2, and his main reason, was that a woman's attention moves from her husband to the child. And Sita doesn't want Juliette's attention to be given to somebody else. He wants all her attention. He wants them to just be the two of them. Juliette was absolutely not happy. That was not the plan. That was not the goal, and she didn't agree. So, after several days of trying to convince him to change his mind, Juliette realized that, nah, if we don't agree on this, we can't be married. So she broke off the engagement, ended the relationship, and ran back to her mother in tears. Devastated, Sita said, "I don't want to lose you," and began to beg and plead with her that you know what is fine. "If you want us to have kids, we'll have kids, but please come back to me and stay in my life." So finally, after several discussions, Juliette agreed. They patched things up and proceeded to go back to wedding planning. Their wedding was an absolute success. Many people came. They had a great time, and for a while it seemed everything was going swimmingly until 3 months later when Juliette announced that she was pregnant. Because of her excitement, Sita tried to hide his disappointment. He really was hoping that this situation would be later rather than sooner. Now it was just too early in their marriage, but she was excited, so he supported her throughout the journey. Eventually they gave birth to a bouncing baby boy that they named Percy, and honestly, Percy was the light of their lives. They doted on him and loved him beyond any time they could have ever imagined. One random Saturday, as Sita is putting baby Percy to bed, he's happy. He's content and decides that he wants to spend some quality time with his wife. He climbs into bed, tries to hold Juliette, but she's not interested. She tells him, "Look, Sita, I'm tired. I'm not in the mood. I don't want this right now." So disappointed, he heads to the bathroom and sorts himself out. This incident unfortunately happened 3 more times, and by the 4th time, Sita was angry and frustrated and tired. Him and Juliette had a fight in which words were thrown. Juliette was frustrated. "Sita, I clean Percy's clothes. I cook. I feed you. I put everything in order. I take care of our house. I work. Why? When I want to sleep is when he wants to come and step in. I beg you pass." Sita too was upset. "Yeah, well, you don't have time for me. It's always a baby. You don't even take care of yourself anymore. You've still gained weight. You don't look the same." In that moment, Juliette was absolutely hurt. How could Sita, her husband, tell her this after she just had their child? In their anger, the couple did not speak to each other for a whole week, until finally, after a conversation with her mother, Juliette decided to patch things up with Sita. She planned a special surprise. Halfway through her workday, she got off work, got a cute little sexy little outfit, and headed over to Sita's office. She informed the receptionist that she was going to Sita's office, but that he should not be told. Upon entry into Sita's office unannounced, what did she find? Sita, in the throes of passion with his assistant Cecilia. Juliette broke down in tears, sobbing, crying, and creating an absolute scene to the point that Sita's co-workers came to her trying to console her. She was beyond embarrassed, but she realized that maybe she could take accountability as well. So, in the privacy of their home, Juliette admitted that it's true she had let herself go in some areas and had not been attentive to her husband, and that she hopes that the two of them could put this incident behind them and work on their marriage. And so they did, and so they tried, but unfortunately it was not working out. They couldn't put this incident behind them. They couldn't fix what had been broken, and that was the end of their relationship. That was the end of the marriage. The two eventually separated, and with that baby, Percy grew up in a broken home. Now that's an entangled web. Well, that's all I got for you guys today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.